Welcome to the iShop Davie podcast, where we're enhancing the positive local buying experiences for the residents of Davie County, North Carolina. When you choose to spend your money, you have many places to choose from. This podcast reminds you to spend your money here because Davie County is home to great customer service, quality business products, and innovative business leaders. The iShop Davie podcast is introducing you to these leaders each week. My name is Chuck Taylor, your host for the iShop Davie podcast. Thank you for joining us. This season, we're focusing on the service-based businesses that enhance the well-being of our county. All right, we're back for another edition of the iShop Davie podcast, and I got to tell you, I am personally excited about today's. Let me kind of go ahead and set the stage for you. So many of you have figured out now by some of the advertisements that I own Sage Garden Care Center, and one of the highlights that I have every single week is being able to work with Timogi Jackson. She is hands down one of the best coaches that I know in helping people be empowered to find the place in their lives where they need to be, whether it's in their business, in their personal lives, or whomever they want to aspire to be. And so we've brought Timogi in today to be a part of the podcast to tell you a little bit about what she does. Say hello, Timogi.
Hello, Davie County.
Yes. So you've got a lot to talk about, and I really just want to jump into this and give you a chance to tell your story. So tell us, what does Timogi Jackson do for the residents of Davie County?
Sure. So if I have to choose a title, it will be the empowerment specialist.
Not a. The. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah, the empowerment specialist. And let me just say specifically about Davie County. So how I was able to find Chuck at Sage Garden Care Center was through someone who lives in Davie County. I was in a season where my work at the college,
And that's the community college.
At Davidson County Community College. My classes that semester, due to enrollment, many have been canceled. So here I am, this single mom, this author, this speaker, this educator who doesn't have any classes to teach. And I was talking to Carolyn at the Davie Chamber. And she says, you know what? I know someone you need to meet. You need to meet Chuck. And I'm like, who's Chuck?
Who's Chuck? Who's this infamous man you speak of? Yes.
You and Chuck need to meet. That's who you need to meet. And she made the connection. And we set up a meeting like almost immediately, Chuck.
Right.
I think it was, It
was, and I had the very same conversation with Caroline. And as a little shout out to the Davie County Chamber of Commerce.
Absolutely.
This is their skill set in resourcing and connecting people for what you need, when you need it. Here's who you need to talk to. Let's get you that resource. Yep.
And so she made the connection. Chuck and I scheduled a meeting. We were able to speak about who I was, what I did, what I offered. And it was just almost immediate. Like, okay, this is good energy happening here. And I represented a lot of what Sage Garden stands for. Life coaching with a fundamental Christian foundation. And it just all clicked. Chuck, it just all clicked. So what I offer to Davie County residents is, number one, a heart and a desire to see people grow.
Yeah.
I believe in people at no matter what stage they're in.
Sure.
So for me, that's what I bring to the table. I will water every seed that God puts in front of me.
And with a layer of confidence, not everybody knows this, but my first impression of Timogi Jackson live when she walked into the interview is the first thing she did is go in and sit down in my seat in the office during the interview.
Did I, Chuck?
Yeah, it was great.
Big chair?
You sat in the big chair, and I went, well, I guess I'm going to
goodness.
sit over here now. But it was great because you had great confidence.
Where were you?
I just sat down by my desk.
Were you already in that seat, Chuck?
Well, I was, and then I got up to welcome you into the office, and then
I walked right in.
You went to the king's chair, and I thought it was great.
Well, now.
I thought it was great. Okay. So you kind of teased into this a little bit.
Okay.
But why have you chosen to continue doing business in Davie County?
Again, I was connected first through the college. However, what I've noticed is that everyone that I've met in this county, Martha over at the Small Business Center at DCCC, she asked me to come in and speak and do like a lunch and learn with the Davie County Chamber members. And that is how I met many of you. And so what ended up happening was from that point forward, I connected and the connections were authentic.
Okay.
And people would call me and say, hey, Timogi, will you come to this event and invite me out? And vice versa.
Right.
Every time I picked up the phone to call someone in Davie County, it was like, sure, what can I do for you?
Yeah.
And so Davie County has that hometown feel that this Brooklyn, I'm from Brooklyn, this Brooklyn girl, right?
Yep.
Believes exists in the South.
Right.
And here it is, right here in beautiful little Davie County.
Right. Yeah, and that's one of the things I think I've noticed too is that Davie County has a welcoming spirit, and especially for those who are ready to get in there and work, who are ready to be encouraging, those who really want to buffer people up and set them up for success. I think Davie County wants to position itself as a great place in North Carolina and in the region to do business, and your skill set really helps to empower that mission. So we've talked about coaching, kind of this consulting line, empowerment line. Why did you choose this girl from Brooklyn? I'm not saying it right. I'm at Brooklyn.
Whatever. Yeah. Put some bass in your voice, Chuck.
How did you decide to get into this business?
Coaching chose me.
Okay.
What few people know is that I'm a mathematician.
Right. Okay.
I love math. From basic math to calculus. I love math. Had I followed my life's plan that I had for myself in high school, I would have earned a PhD in mathematics and would have been somewhere teaching math right now.
Wow.
But I found along the way that I loved people more than I loved math.
Wow.
And what I loved doing was inspiring, motivating, edifying, building people.
Yeah.
And I believe, again, this path chose me, Chuck. If I tell my story, I started out from, my parents were teens. They had me. I grew up in a 2-parent home in Brooklyn during a time. I'm not going to tell y'all how old I am. But anyway, and I grew up in this 2-parent home, made it through high school, my freshman year of college, first generation college student in my family at the time.
Yep.
And literally have a blow up with my dad who puts me out the house.
Oh, wow.
And told me to never come back again.
Wow.
And I didn't. And here we are over 25 years later.
Wow.
Don't start adding.
Okay.
All right. And so life began to happen to me. Things that I never imagined began to happen. And in doing that, it began to mold and shape me into Timogi, the empowerment specialist.
Right.
I mean, that's the way I can put it to kind of shorten the story.
Well, and so part of what I'm hearing you say in this is that you had a series of, we may use the term failures, hiccups, hurdles, hurts, pains. And in each one of those, you seem to be the kind of person that just kind of plowed through it and said, here's what I'm going to learn from this, and here's how I'm going to use this as a part of my story to empower others.
Absolutely. One of my books, I think it's the second, Pack Light, Packing with Your Purpose in Mind. The premise of that book is that in life, we should pack our luggage and leave our baggage behind.
Right.
Luggage is strategic. It is only what you need for the next leg of your journey.
Right.
Baggage is everything.
Yeah.
Okay? And I learned early to leave the baggage behind.
Right.
And only take what I need.
Wow. Good. Good. All right, we got a couple more questions for you. We also have some sponsors that we need to thank for the show. So I'm going to take a short break right here, give our sponsors some time and attention. I want to come back and follow up with a little bit more of your story. Bear with us. Thank you to these sponsors.
People are odd. We all work differently.
Ever feel misunderstood in the workplace? Do you ever think that conversations could be easier? Understanding personalities and preferences can help you lead others better, negotiate conflicts seamlessly, and motivate coworkers to success. If you want to learn more, listen to the Personalities in the Workplace podcast as Timogi Jackson of Sage Garden Care Center interviews me, Chuck Taylor. Follow the link in the show notes or visit us online at sagegardencare.org to begin listening today.
Want to know about the Swicegood Group? We're a brokerage and auction firm that specializes in exclusive seller representation, asset appraisals, real estate evaluation, digital marketing, video promotion, and the sale of both real and personal assets. From the coast of North Carolina to the mountains, we have sold large tracts of land, multi-million-dollar assets, celebrity estates, and even mom and dad's home and contents. Give us a call, 336-751-4444, or find us on the web at theswicegoodgroup.com.
And we're back. So you've told us some more about you. You've told us your story about how you help others. I'm curious, how do you, and I may fill in some of this with Sage Garden, how do we necessarily kind of help benefit the members of our community here? What's the payoff benefit beyond just the coaching work that you do?
Well, I think that one of the great things about Sage Garden Care Center is that we help people individually, we help businesses collectively, and it is that place where life and business intersect.
Right.
We are masters at meeting people at that place to help them seek balance, because you cannot, by nature, be balanced on one side of your life and be imbalanced on another.
Right.
Then you're not balanced.
Right. You're imbalanced.
Right.
Yeah, exactly right.
So you have to be balanced in every area.
Right.
Right. So is your business really successful because of the bottom line number? If your family's suffering? Absolutely not. Right. And here at Sage Garden, we are able to help, again, individuals or businesses in that place where they intersect, find balance. And we all need balance, right? You can eat one donut and be okay, but you shouldn't eat all 12 of the donuts.
You can, but you shouldn't.
But you shouldn't. Right. And then wash it down with some carrot juice or something.
Because those calories don't cancel out. Is that what you're telling me?
That's what I'm telling you.
Right. And so this is really a core component of what Sage Garden is. A couple of things I'll add to this. Some people don't know that the iShop Davey podcast is something that's done on a volunteer basis so that we can help businesses grow and thrive and get their story out and accent what the Chamber of Commerce is doing. And so this is part of our mission to really help businesses get out there and grow. And as well, at the same time, we want to let people see some of the ways that we're able to accent that. Some people don't know also that we tithe on 100% of the money that comes in to the business. That's not profits. That's 100% of the money that comes into the business. That is 10% that goes back out into the community one way or another. And so it's just kind of a little service that we do because we are God-centered and we really believe that our faith has propelled us to where we get here. While we don't push that on people, right? We don't tell them what they have to believe. We don't apologize for it either.
Absolutely not. And, you know, Davie County, again, has been extremely good to me, Chuck. A couple years ago, I was the keynote speaker at the Davie Businesswomen's Signature Luncheon.
Right.
Now, mind you, that was before I was a member of Sage Garden Care Center.
Right.
That was with really no connections specifically to anyone in Davie County other than having met a few people. And Davie County was not afraid to embrace this beautiful, talented, educated.
Keep going.
Okay, I'm going to stop. But Davie County saw this sister and was not afraid to say what she's doing, what she's saying, her message, and everything that she stands for is good for our audience, even though I don't necessarily look like the audience.
Right.
They saw the person and not just the skin that I was in. And for me, Chuck, as an African-American woman, that you have to be brave to do that. right? You have to be really brave to do that because we know what's happening in the world around us in this season.
Yes.
So for me, that speaks volumes about Davie County and that it is a good and welcoming environment that sees the whole person and not just the parts of a person.
Absolutely. Yeah, and to echo that, that's one of the main reasons why I decided to bring you on board is before we ever had the first interview, before I ever talked to you, I only had probably 30 people say, you've got to talk to Timogi Jackson. Oh my goodness, that woman, she's got it. And they were just really impressed by the story and what they got out of it. And that, to me, that was the big thing is, Timogi Jackson's a big personality, but at the end of the day, everybody was saying, this is what she helped me realize about myself. This is what she helped me understand about who I am. And to me, that speaks volumes about what that presentation style is.
Well, and I thank God for that. I believe that whatever your gifts, strengths, and talents are, that they're God-given, and that you must use them, that you must not bury them.
Right.
And you can take someone like me who's extremely confident, and I have no problem saying that, right? Because I'm extremely confident.
Yeah, right.
But because of that, never do I have to take someone who's in my presence and pull them down.
Right.
I want you up here with me. Come on, hang out with me up here.
That's right.
Right? In the confidence zone.
That's right.
Right? This is where I want you to be, because I know light loves light.
That's right.
And so for me, again, Davie County it feels like home almost. When you come here as a visitor, someone who doesn't live here, Davie County feels like home.
All right, so my last question then for you is let's kind of put this conversation in the feet of the people who come into Sage Garden. Okay. Somebody decides that they want to speak to Timogi Jackson. They want their life to be empowered. They want their business to grow. They're looking for some sort of insight. What is the customer experience like when someone gets in touch with you?
Sure. First of all, when we meet initially, that first consultation, whether it's on phone, whether it's on Zoom, Skype, whatever, just know that we're listening.
Right.
We are actually listening.
Yep.
We don't just hear you, we're listening. We want you to speak your goals or your plans and your dreams, and we want to help you put together the action plan to get there. Right? We don't want to tell you what to think or how to think. We want to listen to what you're saying. So that's important because, working in higher ed where everybody's smart and intelligent and educated,
For sure.
Right. So everybody has good ideas. Right.
Yep.
But we don't often listen.
That's right.
To one another. So when you come into Sage Garden, we listen to you. We listen to you in order to help you build, reach, attain what it is that you desire. And for me, that's the lost art, listening. Yeah. I mean, I took a whole class in graduate school on listening. Why don't we listen better? There was a book I read, Why Don't We Listen Better? And so I think that and that alone separates us at Sage Garden from lots of places.
Yeah. All right, so we would be remiss if we didn't tell people how to get in touch with you. What is the best way for someone to get in touch with Timogi Jackson?
Sure. If you go to sagegardencarecenter.org and you go online, you're going to see a great picture. I mean, a great picture of the entire Sage Garden family staff there. And there will be a link for you to click. You can set up a consultation. Right. And we'll go from there.
All right. You can also reach you at your email address, which is Timogi. You need to spell that for people.
T as in Tom. I, M as in Mary. O, G as in guitar. I. T, I, M, O, G, I .Jackson.
At sagegardencare.org.
Yes.
Right. Great. Okay. Thank you for being here and sharing your story today. Absolutely a pleasure.
Well, thank you for having me, not just on the podcast, but as a member of Sage Garden Care.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And thank you to all of our listeners for listening in today. We hope that you've enjoyed this season of the iShop Davie podcast. Thanks for listening to the iShop Davie podcast today. We're proud to showcase our innovative business leaders who are enhancing our wonderful local community. For show notes, including links to resources we discussed on today's show, head to iShopDavie.com. Also, take a moment to subscribe to iShop Davy wherever you listen to your podcast so you won't miss any of our upcoming shows. We love to spread the word, so we encourage you to tell a friend about our show. Keep up on all our upcoming events by liking the Davie County Chamber of Commerce on Facebook. We'll see you next time on the iShop Davy podcast.